Okay, let's take a look at this clip Ariel dropped of his interview with Francis, where he asks Francis about Dana's claims that he put his hands on him and Hunter Campbell over a $50,000 performance bonus that they would not award him. Okay, Mr. Confused, Mr. Confused. Just get ready to hear Mr. Confused.
Then we go from that. In the midst of all of this, Francis, Dana White does an interview on a podcast called the Flagrant Podcast with Andrew Schultz, and he speaks a lot about you in a very, unsatisfactory way, in a very not nice way. You've seen these comments, I would imagine.
Why am I not surprised?
So this time around, it wasn't just, oh, he's a bad guy. He spoke about specific details, specific stories, instances where he claims you grabbed him or you grabbed Hunter Campbell, all this stuff. Can I get your response to this? Did any of this happen that he talked about on this podcast?
Well, I think the best person to answer that question is Dana White. You have to ask him whenever you have the chance. You ask him.
Well, I won't have that chance anytime soon, but he has said it, right? So if I would ask him, he would say, yeah, I said it. That's my POV. The one that we haven't heard about this is you, right? So I would love your side of the story.
You know, I kind of at some point feel very ignoring to just have to be responsible of what people say. Basically, like if Dana say this, then I'm out here gonna basically defend myself of what Dana said or whomever. I think whatever he said, if he's in peace with, it's okay.
So if someone tells a blatant lie about you, it's okay? You're at peace with it? You don't want to defend yourself anymore? I mean, I guess that's your prerogative. But if someone told a blatant lie about me, I'm going to say, nah, that shit's not true. This is exactly what happened, right? This is what happened.
But one might say that he's trying to hurt your character, right? These aren't nice things to say about someone, if not true. If not,
yeah, why would you let that shit sit, bro? That makes you look terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Not true.
Again, why am I not surprised?
Right. So you don't want to address any of it.
Third attempt at getting Francis to answer it. Third attempt. We're on the third attempt. Let's see how many more chances he gives Francis to answer. We're on 3 now.
No, I don't find it. I don't find it important in it. I don't find it necessary. At some point, he was, but over time, he's not anymore.
Okay. How did you get to that point, to where maybe in the past you would want to respond, but now you don't feel like you have to?
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old. I really feel like I have less energy for drama, for stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to be in peace and people leave me alone. That's all.
Do you think at some point you will be able to be left alone when it comes to Dana White, maybe even have a good relationship? Is this something that you would like? A handshake, hello, how are you? A cordial relationship?
He should have been.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have gone this way. Why do we get all this way, first of all?
He's confused. It should have been. We should have had a good relationship. It should have been cordial. How did we get to this? How did we get to this? Francis wants to know. Francis, tell us how you got to this. Tell us, homie. Tell us how you got to this place. Is it because you put your hands on Dana?
What's the purpose? How come do we get from where we were to where we are right now?
Dude, you have the literal answer.
On the other hand, I would just say it's quite disappointed the way that things went. That's all.
Can I ask you point blank, did you ever put your hands on him?
Fourth chance. Fourth chance to clarify Dana White's statements that he put his hands on him and Hunter Campbell. Fourth chance.
On Dana White?
Yeah.
Well, then he must be the only person that I ever put my hand on.
Well, he
The fuck did he just say?
said he said you did it with him and Hunter Campbell, where you grabbed his collar.
In his office, that's what he said, right?
Correct.
Well, I'm sure he has a lot of camera there.
So
Why not just say no? I didn't do that.
you would invite him to, hey, show the proof?
I'm not inviting him to do anything. I'm not in court.
No, I know. But you know, Francis, he's on a podcast. He's saying, hey, this guy's a bad guy. He put his hand on me. He did all this stuff. This is not a good that paints a picture of an ugly scene. And so if someone said that about me, I would feel probably the need to defend myself. I didn't touch you. What are you talking about? You're trying to assassinate my character or something. And so that's why I was curious what your take on it was.
Fifth chance to say no, that's not what happened. Fifth chance to say no, that's not what happened. Just like Ariel said it, I think anybody would say it. It's so easy. Did you put your hands on Dana like he said? No, I didn't. Okay. I mean, then you can go on. Literally refuses to even acknowledge the question. He won't even acknowledge the question. The most he says is, he said that happened in his office. Well, then there's probably cameras in his office, right? Like, what? Guys answering questions with more questions.
Well, if every time that somebody says something about you, then you have to do that, then it's going to be tough. As I said, over time, I just get tired of those stuff. I really saw that and scroll and move.
Okay.
Like, I get past it. I wasn't even. Yeah, I mean, I should be thinking that you're gonna ask me that, obviously, but I'm long gone from that.
Okay.
So there it is. 5 attempts to get Francis to acknowledge that he didn't put his hands on Dana and clear his name, and he refuses to clear his name. So Dana's narrative survives. However, Dana White was asked about this today on the Mac Life interview, and we got the quote. Here's what Dana said. Dana says, let me be clear on something when I say the physicality. It's not like Francis came in here and threatened us or anything like that. We were in there and he's telling me that he deserves the 50K. I said, you're not getting it. We had determined who was going to get the 50K. And I'm in there with him for however long, and I'm like, I'm done. I have another meeting. And this guy used to walk around the UFC headquarters like it was his fucking house. He literally spent the whole day there, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I started to walk out, and he put his hand on my chest, and he said, we're not done talking. And I said, oh, we're done talking. It's not like Francis came in here and was like physical, but that's what went down. Bro, Dana said in the past he told Francis to get your fucking hands off me. So, I mean, that is a little bit different, right? That is a little bit different. Now he's saying, I said, oh, we're done talking, not get your fucking hands off me. So was Dana clip farming? Was Dana lying? We all know Dana lies all the time. We all know Dana clip farms. So we got two liars. We literally have two liars here. Francis a liar and seemingly a bullshitter, and Dana the same way. Two liars and bullshitters. And I guess Francis ain't never coming back to the UFC since we're on the topic.
Francis Ngannou did an interview with Uncrowned today, and he said his PFL deal is coming to an end and he would be interested in coming back to fight on the White House card against John Jones. You've made it clear how toxic that relationship got. You brought up the story about the physicality and everything like that. Is there a world where you guys work together again?
When somebody shows you who they really are, believe them.
Oh my God, Dana says this like every chance he gets. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them. Dana, you've said this so many times, bro. Find a new line. We're going on like 10 years of you saying this. And you say it with such conviction. By the way, every day in MMA is Groundhog's Day because we had so much, like this whole thing about Francis Ngannou not coming back to the UFC. Did anyone think there was a chance? Dana has confirmed Francis ain't coming back on several occasions. Several occasions. But oh, here he is with Mac Life. Here he is with a camera in front of him again. Let's act like we never answered this question before and ask it again. Dude, we know. We fucking know Francis is never coming back. Never coming back. Even before this. Even before this. This is why I think MMA is just fucking Groundhog's Day, bro. Because everybody gets a new interview with somebody and they ask them the same repeated questions. Even the Arman Sarukian thing. Dana just answered that at the UFC press conference after UFC 323. He just answered the stuff about Arman, saying he's still in the doghouse. Then he sits in front of the camera with fucking Oscar Willis, and we gotta act like it's Groundhog's Day and report on it again. We just reported on this shit on Saturday. We just reported on Arman being in the doghouse still on Saturday. Now he says it with a few different words, right? He mixes up the words a little bit with the same fucking narrative, and we gotta act like this is breaking news all over again. This shit annoys me. This is why I didn't post this, because I posted it on Saturday already. Talking about the Arman thing and talking about how Francis is never coming back to the UFC. We knew all this stuff before today. Before this interview dropped, we already knew that stuff. And I'm annoyed. That shit like annoys the fuck out of me. That's probably just me, but shit, I'm just telling you guys what annoys me, and that shit annoys me. So let's hear Dana say for the 100,000th time that Francis Ngannou is never coming back to the UFC. And let's hope this is the last time he ever has to fucking say it, because I'm sick of hearing it. Francis is never coming back, everybody. Never. I don't care if Francis goes on somebody else's platform next week and says that his PFL contract is going to expire before UFC White House happens, okay? That does not give the right to re-ask the same fucking question that's been answered a million times.
And there was nobody more into Francis than me. When I met this guy, I was like, holy shit, you are what a heavyweight fucking champion looks like, all this shit. And I was all in on Francis. I had Francis sitting behind me in the fucking Zuffa section, in my seats. And then we were in Boston, and he showed me who he was.
So safe to say, no interest in bringing him back. No interest. You know?
I don't know how I can make it any more fucking clear.
Fair. I do wonder how PFL feel going out and saying that his contract's nearly done.
There was nothing that made me happier than throwing that guy over to the fucking PFL. I don't want to be in business with guys that I don't like and that I don't think are good guys. I'm pretty lenient when it comes to tough guy shit. I'm not lenient with bad guy shit.
Okay, so Francis is a bad guy. But we already knew. Francis is never coming back, bro. Never in a million years.